Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling. This is Marley, this is Will, and on this episode we're going to do something that's a little bit different for me, being of a certain age. Very rarely does a new band come out that I really respond to and say, yeah, this is a band that's I'm going to enjoy listening to, and I hope they have a long career. And Greta Van Fleet is an exception. It's a young rock band out of Michigan. They haven't been together. They've been together for a while. They haven't done. There's not a lot of music to talk about, but what there is for the music, great potential for a band that, you know, if enough people support them, could have a lengthy career. So I'll talk about the music, I guess, first. The first thing to come out, the first time I heard of Greta Van Fleet was last year when I heard Highway Tune, and I, like so many others, thought the same thing. Wow. These guys sound like early Led Zeppelin, not only musically, but with the lead singer, who's, I can never remember the names of the guys in the band. These guys can help me with that. Josh, okay. Guy's got a powerful, powerful voice on him, and if he takes care of himself, maybe he'll have that voice when he's, you know, the age that Robert Plant is now, or any other veteran rock singer. Keep the Zeppelin comparisons to a minimum. They're certainly not the first band to be influenced by them, but there's a definite 70s vibe. And I just think it's great. It's a great, energetic rock, hard rock I'd call it, but again, very, very 70s. And we'll talk about the music that they've put out. So the very first thing they put out was this EP called Black Smoke Rising, and they're on Lava Records, which used to be distributed by Atlantic. Now it's distributed by Universal. This has 4 songs on it, and this is a Canadian version of the EP. Safari Song, another great tune, and they're all really, really good songs. Easy to get into, sort of instantly likable, and there's not much in this for credits. Now, we all have, like I said, there's not a lot of music to talk about. Our collections are pretty much all the same, and this is Black Smoke Rising on vinyl. Now, me being me, I don't open my vinyl. Marley has it on vinyl, and she can show us what's actually in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of just looks like the CD. It's a gatefold. Just
bigger.
Got the lyrics on the inside. There's no insert. It's just
a white sleeve.
Just a white sleeve, you know.
Yeah, customized label.
Yep.
So the next thing that they put out, and Will has all of this too, so there's just going to be a lot of repetition. The next thing that they put out is, they're still calling it an EP, but in the 70s, eight songs constituted an album. Sometimes 6 songs constituted an album. This is From the Fires. Now, this is also the same 4 songs that were on the EP plus 4 more songs. So this came out the same year. These both came out last year. And again, this is just another Canadian version. Lyrics to all the songs in them, and a little tiny bit of credits. So that's kind of where my knowledge of Greta Van Fleet ends. They do have a single that's just out now called When the Curtain Falls.
When the Curtain Falls.
Yeah, so both of these two have done something that I haven't, and that's they've seen Greta Van Fleet live. And since it was farther ago, Marley, tell us about Greta Van Fleet, where it was, and just your overall experience.
Okay. Well, I saw Greta Van Fleet in Quebec on the 9th of July with the Festival d'été de Quebec. They weren't the main act of this show, Foo Fighters were. So they only got like an hour-long set. They were really, really good live. Very energetic. A lot of jamming. They didn't play all of the songs that were on their like 8-song EP. They were playing like... They played When the Curtain Falls, and it hadn't been released as a single at that point.
And there's another song, Liar, what's it called?
Lover, Leaver, Taker, Believer.
Right. That's sort of a stray song. Will that end up on an album? We don't know. But anyway, go on.
I actually like that song more than When the Curtain Falls.
Mm-hmm. We'll see in the fall. Yeah, by the way, their album's due in the fall.
Yeah. So maybe we're a little bit early, but while their memories of the concert were fresh, we wanted to go over it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, they did a lot of jamming. Wasn't a lot of banter, but that could have also been like, you know, time restraints, and also, you know, we were in Quebec, a lot of people speak French there.
Well, plus they're not veterans of doing this.
Yeah.
It could be just he hasn't develop that rapport with the audience. But how did they go down? Like, how did the because sometimes opening acts on a bill, people are either disinterested or worse, they're hostile towards them. Did they go over well?
They did go over well, especially with like Highway Tune and Black Smoke Rising and like the songs that are better now.
Happy to say, like, the radio's actually supporting them, and that's the only way a rock band's ever going to have a career. They've got to have songs that everybody knows, not just rock fans. So you got yourself a souvenir.
Yes, I did. I got the shirt. It's got the tour dates on the back. And I also got myself, hold it the right way, this like bandana scarf thing.
So after that, a few days later, Will, you saw them in Boston.
Boston.
Tell us about that. Where were they? Where'd you see them? And
Boston, House of Blues. The first night, they played back-to-back sold-out shows. Everybody was definitely there to see them.
So yeah, House of Blues, they would be headlining. I always wanted to see a show at House of Blues. Now, did you see both nights or just one?
Just one.
Okay.
The first night. Opening act, awful. If you would have told me they played one song for 45 minutes, I'd believe you. But they are not a studio band. I will never listen to anything studio from them the same again. They weren't Led Zeppelin to me live. They were Greta Van Fleet live. They were completely different. They took like a 3-minute song, Edge of Darkness, and made it a 15-20-minute song.
Led Zeppelin used to do that too.
But it didn't sound like Led Zeppelin.
No, I'm just saying, but
completely
that's a
different.
'70s thing. Deep Purple would do it too. I mean, they'd have one song that took up whole one side of a live album, but that's a very '70s vibe that they're channeling. Go on. I'm guessing between the two of you, maybe you haven't compared notes on. Did they probably do about the same set list, or did they play longer when you saw them because it was a House of Blues?
I don't understand. They didn't play the two covers they have on From the Fires. They played other covers.
So what did they do for other covers?
They played like Evil from. Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Oh, Alan Wolf? No.
Yeah.
It's a blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up a lot of the songs because during their set it was like heavily downpouring at the same time, and then a lot of the songs they would end one song in a jam and go into another one. Yeah.
Also, I've heard a lot of stuff on the album of, wow, the drum sounds simple, the bass lines sound easy. It was just constant moving of
They
the
actually
fingers
don't.
and moving of the...
If you listen to the to what they're actually playing, that bass player is not doing one-note bass lines.
Oh,
He's moving
no.
up and down the fretboard. I can tell from hearing that. And the drums are exactly what these songs call for. And I don't think they're simple.
They were even more impressive. He added
live.
even more stuff live.
Yeah. But even if you are just playing simple, like Phil Rudd from AC/DC, it takes stamina to be able to do that. And there's a real knack to it. So it's strange to me that if they have more songs at their disposal, that they wouldn't have just done them. But maybe another thing, I mean, I've seen over the years, perhaps they're giving the singer a break. Could be.
Maybe.
Conserve the voice a little bit. So highlights from seeing them in concert for each of you, like, was it just all good, or was there one moment in particular like, oh yeah, this is awesome?
Edge of Darkness.
Yeah?
High energy. They only have one guitar player, so when he played the solos, the bass player played so many notes, it was almost like a rhythm guitar player.
Well, that's just it too. When you just have a one guitar band, the bass player has to fill in.
Yeah, it was...
And it doesn't sound empty to me. Like some bands that that have a bass player that just tends to play simpler stuff. When they overdub the rhythm guitars in the studio, but when they do it live, all of a sudden all of the weight drops at the bottom end. And these guys aren't like that because the bass picks up the slack. It's nothing new what they're doing. It's just it's the first time that a band has come out for a while that has that sort of attitude. And any titles on this new album that you've heard, or just no?
No idea. All I know is that it's due in the fall.
It's been done for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they just...
In the industry, they say it's in the can. I don't know. There are prime release dates, maybe I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't put it out in the summer. It seems to me to be a perfect time.
I don't know.
So hopefully these guys are around for a while and develop into a career. But for now, I'm enjoying the music that they've put out. Will, you got yourself a cool shirt. Jack got this one too. It's just a simple black T-shirt with the logo, and that's another thing. It's a cool logo. You know, and okay, so you guys know the story, but in case anybody doesn't, why are they called Greta Van Fleet?
There was a woman in their town,
Yeah.
and her name was Greta Van Fleet. And they were just like, oh, that's a cool band name. And they
Sounds
just,
too hard to say, so
Yeah.
they took out the...
yeah, they dropped the N because they
Well,
felt it was going to be dropped anyway.
DJs would pronounce it wrong, probably.
Yeah.
They'd say, well, what, or worse, not pronounce it wrong, or just, oh, I'm not going to play that. I don't know how to say it. You don't want that. So, Greta Van Fleet, great young band. Forget the hype. Forget, oh, they sound like Led Zeppelin. And I've said this before, does anybody remember Kingdom Come? You know, they sold millions of albums. So, I'm thinking that the more music they put out, they'll develop their own sound. They'll develop a sound so that 20 years from now, a young band will come up and say, oh, they sound just like Greta Van Fleet. That's how it goes. So it's exciting because it's a new band that, you know, isn't pushing 70. And I like the way they play. So they're appealing to a broad range of people. And there's actually a very funny interview if you go on YouTube and type in Robert Plant, Greta Van Fleet. He actually talks about them in a positive way. And he says that the singer, you know, he's a great, beautiful little singer is the way he describes it. He said he borrowed his voice. He said, yeah, he borrowed it from someone I know. But anyway, so yeah, check him out if you haven't already. Give it a shot at Greta Van Fleet. And, you know, maybe when the new album comes out, we'll have an episode just talking about that. So, all right, thanks for watching this edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions.